Attack anyone to not make their feelings hurt.
I could do that.
Go ahead, be gentle with the people.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This
A little
is
softer, a little softer.
this is another episode of Mr. Birdie Productions. I am Lance, and next to me I have the infamous, the famous, the world-renowned.
I am Jalan. Today's episode is going to be a little harsh. That's why we're talking a little soft.
Yes.
We don't want to offend anyone.
No.
We want everyone to feel loved,
I love love.
to feel heard.
Why is that so funny?
It's just the way you said it. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about taking ownership of your projects. Some people may find that offensive, hearing the things we say about it, but we mean it all in love.
Yes. Yes.
What do we mean by take ownership of your projects?
Taking ownership?
Yeah.
Really, what I get from that is when I'm creating something and I've got the end product here, I don't want to hand it off to somebody else.
Ah, yes, you don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And there's different levels of handing it off.
Give a small level. What's the
Small-
lowest level?
A small level. Let's see. Since we're talking about film, you're making a movie, or actually, let's dial it back a little bit.
Okay.
You're writing a script.
Starting really small. Okay.
Yeah, really small. Actually, let's dial it back a little bit more.
Okay.
You're thinking about how to create a story. You're thinking of a story to make. And you have this story, and you want to come to a friend and get advice. Well, not advice. You want to get answers.
Yes.
To me, that's giving away your, how would you say it?
The creative element.
The creative element.
And why is it not good to give away that creative element when you're thinking of a story?
Because at that point, it's not really you anymore. It's not even a collaboration. Or maybe it is a collaboration.
It could be,
It is.
but I mean, if you intended for it to be your story, but you're using someone else's ideas,
Yes.
now you have two chefs in the kitchen.
Very true.
And when you have two chefs in the kitchen,
Yes.
one chef can't take all the credit for the meal at the end of the night.
Very true.
You got to give credit where credit is due.
Very true.
So when you're starting out as an indie filmmaker, it's very important to leave your footprint in the industry. And the best way to do that is to just own your work.
Follow your heart.
Yeah. Make sure that vision is the end product, because at the end of the day, if you delegate parts of your story or whatever you're trying to do to other people, they take some ownership. They have to take ownership because it's only right that you give them their credit.
Very true.
Why is that not good? Why do we say at this level you should just take complete ownership?
Well, mainly because we're small.
Yes. That is true. This isn't Hollywood. Your project is what essentially is going to get you on the map. It is what people are going to notice when they look at your work, and you want to be able to confidently say, that is my work.
Very true.
So with us, this is the company right here, we can confidently say everything from Deception was our work. There was no outside influences. We didn't really collab. Not collab, but we didn't have any extra writers.
Nope.
Everything was kind of what we wanted, and our vision is what we were able to produce. So the reason why we're saying this is because as an indie filmmaker, it can be very scary to make your first film.
Oh, yeah.
And not wanting it to be bad.
Ooh.
So you do things to not go against the grain, and you recruit experience to help you not make those mistakes that one would make if they kind of just went with what they were originally thinking. So you take the safe route.
Yes.
Safe route isn't always the best way, because you sacrifice some of your element of your creativity, your whatever it is you do, to bring in that other person.
That's very true.
There's nothing wrong with getting input and advice, but anything you get, you should mold it around your original vision. So, for example, let's say you wrote a script. Somehow that script gets to a Hollywood production, and they say Hugh Jackman wants to be in it.
Ooh, I would love Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman's he's a good actor.
Yeah.
But he comes in and he says, I don't know, 15% of it good.
Yeah.
The other 85, I'm not really feeling it.
What do you mean?
Most indie filmmakers would be like, you know what? It's Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
This opportunity may never come again. We can get rid of that 85%, work with the 15, and remold it.
Yep.
At that point, it's not your movie anymore.
No.
It's Hugh Jackman's movie. And understandably, the opportunity is good, but at the end of your career, do you want to be able to say, I made every movie according to my vision?
Yeah.
Or I made every movie according to what the opportunity presented itself was, and I had a little hand in it.
I like that.
I'd rather have a full career saying every movie I put out was my vision.
Oh, same here. Like, get out of here, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
we don't
like,
want you.
we love you.
Unless you like the whole movie, then we'll take you.
You got to be okay with it. But as an indie filmmaker, you got to stand your ground.
Yeah.
You can't get caught up in the hopes of that big moment and just taking an opportunity because someone's been in a Netflix movie or a Prime Video or in a blockbuster movie, because it's all about you. It has to be your vision because no one else knows your vision. So, like you were saying before, whenever you're coming up with this idea of a movie, come up with the whole thing.
Yeah.
Have everything from A to B all the way to Z, and Z is the final product on the screen. Now, I don't know about you. When I'm writing, I can visualize the movie as I'm writing it.
Oh, same here.
I know exactly how I want it to look. I know the camera movements. I know the focal length. And that's very important because there's some indie filmmakers who aren't really privy to the lingo of cameras. They don't have experience. So they'll kind of just defer to whatever the people who operate the cameras say is good.
Yeah.
Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't know if they understand your vision.
Yeah.
And then that can kind of become teeter-totter on set, you trying to convey your vision, them trying to understand it, and also kind of get it to a point where you both are okay. That's something you want to have done before you get to the filming aspect.
Yes.
So for us, we knew exactly how we wanted the shots to go. We knew the focal length. We knew the type of shot, if it was a close-up, if it was a medium. We knew what equipment we wanted to use. And that's not to say you can't change that. But I think it's a good starting point to be able to come in and just say, this is what I want. This is my vision. Let's work within that.
Yes.
Then you'll flow. But as far as like just coming in with just the idea of the story and hoping others fill in those gaps, can be risky.
It's very, very risky.
Yeah. What's going on?
I was gonna say something. I kind of lost it.
Get it back.
I'll go back to something since I can't reach that.
Okay.
I was thinking of this person we met recently, and we met up with him this past weekend, and I didn't see the sign, but he said, like, as you guys walked in, there's a phrase on the door.
Yeah.
I think it's basically something along the lines of "leave your ego at the door."
Yes, sir.
And I think the same thing transfers over as no matter what you do. If you're a producer, you're a writer, actor, whatever else goes into making a movie, that term applies. And I think this is how I was kind of seeing it in my head, is when you're delegating or when you're leaving a certain aspect of the creating process up to someone else, just because they have a certain level, a certain status, to me, that's the ego that's talking, and that's not.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Because you want that fame and that status and everything else that comes along with it. You want them to bring that into your movie, and to me that you're giving up what you created, what you love, and your passion. That's all I was thinking of.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's egos aren't just about you being egotistical and saying like everything I do is gold. It can be, that aspect of what he just said. Someone has experience and you want them to come in and bring their experience, so your project can just be, super amazing, and you're going to rely on their experience and their abilities to make your film what you hope it is. But it's not always possible to do that.
It's a false illusion.
Yeah, sometimes that person, like we said, they just don't understand your vision. They don't know what you want. They don't see how you see things, and you wouldn't want to have that clash of the creativeness, because being creative, it's competition. No matter how you look at it, if two creative people get in the room and it's just like a basketball game. You're playing one-on-one. Oh yeah. You want to win. Yeah. So when you're being creative, you want your ideas to be the ones that make it in. So even though your intentions might just be, oh, let's just work together on this. It becomes a competition at a certain point. So, you know, your vision has to be the main goal. And in the beginning, it's really easy to go to the people who have experience.
Yeah.
Like you said, like just try to not make those mistakes that most people make. Mm-hmm. But I think it's better to just stick to what you believe is the best thing for your project and then learn from there. Yeah. Like we're learning from the first movie. There's a lot that I've been taking notes on of just like, oh, why do we do that? We should have took that out. And I wouldn't change that. I would still make the same mistakes, not again, but like I wouldn't undo those mistakes, because I feel like if someone came in and said, hey, don't do this, I would have never learned. I would have just known to not do it because that person said it. Yeah. Instead, now we know, oh, when you do this in a movie, it takes away from the story. It makes it long. So now I have an understanding of that aspect of making those mistakes. So, man, stick to your vision. Stick to your vision. It is really important. It can teach you a lot. Mm-hmm. It can teach you about yourself. You know, you got to understand yourself as an artist. I feel like if you have too many people in your kitchen cooking a meal with you, you don't really understand where your strengths are. You're always, you know, if you're not strong in a certain area and you have someone doing it for you, the light will never get shined on that aspect of your abilities for you to realize, oh, I'm not strong here. Mm-hmm. So when you just allow yourself to be creative on your own and you just do the things that are in your heart and your mind and you put it out there, it allows you to learn where you can improve, what you need to improve on, and how you can get better as a filmmaker, an artist, writer, whatever it is. But, you know, your vision is important. Mm-hmm. Take ownership of your projects. You know, don't give in to an opportunity that may be just that. It just may be an opportunity. It may not do anything for your career per se. So, but that's not to say like if Hugh Jackman called you and said, hey, I like your movie, I want to be in it. Don't be like, nah, I heard these two guys on the internet say don't do it. But we're just saying, just make sure they understand your vision and they're supporting you, and they're not just taking something you've created, scrapping 90% of it, taking the 10 and using it to their benefit, because then, you know, you're left with the crumbs, and you know, you deserve the credit. You worked hard on it, it's your project, and you should be the one getting the applause in the end. So that's all we're saying. Take ownership. Don't be afraid to make those mistakes. Stick to your guns, stick to your vision, because at the end of the day, I think you'll be more starting a little bit, you'll be more pleased with that.
I think a good little on top of that, a second ending to your ending would be more of a question. Mm-hmm. How did we work on not stepping on each other's toes when it comes, because you just said it gets really competitive when two creatives, two artists are in the same room working on the same project.
That is true.
How do you think we worked? How did we work that out? I feel like there were boundaries. There were unsaid boundaries that weren't crossed. But how did we work that?
I feel like knowing, so we have a level of understanding where I know your strengths, you know my strengths.
Yes.
I can write a story about anything. Yeah. I can make something up out of my butthole. Visually, you're the artist. Yeah. So I trust that you will understand where my cutoff is where you pick up, and vice versa. So I think that's how the tandem worked perfectly. Like I just knew visually, like I had the idea of how I wanted to look, but when it comes to the actual visuals of it, I was just like, I know what you produce will be better than what I produce. So I just I didn't worry about it, and I didn't really think about it. I just made sure to make sure what I was good at was good enough for you to be able to work with and be like, all right, I got it now. So that's how we, made it work. But we don't have egos.
No, that's true.
Yeah, like if I don't know something, I'll ask you, and if you don't know, then we'll just go figure it out.
That's true. I'm sorry, that wasn't a good question to ask.
No,
someone I know very well.
It makes sense, but like if we didn't know each other, I think working in that sense, it's always good to just be honest. Mm-hmm. Like if you're a new filmmaker and you're trying to find your way, ask questions. Yeah. Like the people who you have that have experience, ask them questions. Listen to what they've done. Like, because you don't have to necessarily just do what they say, but who's to say, like, they may say something now, 5 years down the line, you'd be like, you know what, I remember when this dude said that, and it makes sense now. So yeah, just ask questions, man, and just be humble. Don't have an ego. The goal is to produce a good product, and good people, working with good people can help enhance that product. But if you have such an ego where it's just like, you know, you don't want to get better, you know, you're God's gift to filmmaking.
Yeah.
No one's gonna want to work with you.
No.
And then, you know, you're gonna develop a reputation of, he's, you know, I don't want to work with this guy. So understand your strengths, understand your weaknesses, and just understand how to work within those to be someone that can still stick to their guns, have their vision, you know, come to fruition, but also learn at the same time. Be a little closed-minded, open-minded at the same time. If that makes sense.
I like that.
You got to be a little bit closed-minded, but still be open-minded at the same time. So I know it's a contradiction, but
that's life, dude.
Yeah,
you have to exist in the gray in order for everything.
Yeah, and we learn in film, like we had ideas that we were just like, oh, this has to be in the movie, and then someone's just like, that don't make sense, and then we realized it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. So it's just like, in that moment we were closed-minded, but as soon as someone said something and we thought about it, it's like, that makes sense.
Check it out.
You got to be open-minded. So find that gray, find that gray area, and you'll be fine. But have fun with it. You know, be creative, explore, take chances, take risk. Just never give up your vision, because that is the most important thing. It's your vision for a reason, no one else's.
That's a good ending point.
Yeah,
that's well said.
I think that's a good time to get to scripture for this week.
Damn, I feel that gave me some energy. That made me pumped.
About to do a workout.
Makes me want to do something now. That was good.
I motivate at the same time.
I intimidate.
That was good.
Thank you.
I motivate, I intimidate. It's that yin and yang right there. Ladies and gentlemen, today's scripture is going to come from Romans 14:12, and that scripture says, "So then each of us will give an account of ourselves to God." So at the end of the day, when Judgment Day comes, you're going to have to stand before Jesus himself and take ownership of everything you've done here on earth. And there's no one else that can save you. No one can talk on your behalf. No one can, explain to God why you did such and such. It's all on you. You have to take that responsibility. And when it comes to creating a film, you want to take that responsibility. You want to own everything that you do with confidence. You know, it's very like we said before, it's an opportunity for growth, but your vision is important. So taking ownership of your project and sticking to, what you want to make sure your vision comes true is, very important when it comes to film. And just like, when you're getting close to God, everything you do here on earth, you can't delegate. You can't just say like, my bad, God, that was him. That was Lance. He made me do that. God's gonna be like, no, you were the one who did it. He might have said it, but, go through life, being confident, take ownership in the things you want. Your ideas are good ideas. Don't allow anyone to just sway you because of what they say or what they don't like. Stand on your 2 feet and stand proud, because it'll be worth it. At the end of your career, you can look back and be like, damn, I'm proud of myself. So that's what that scripture means to us. Hopefully it means something to you guys. And I think that's where we're going to end. You got anything else, my friend?
Proud of us, man.
Yes, sir. We're working. Part 2 is in the works. A lot of other projects are coming. So the best thing to do, just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing. Figure it out. Do what comes to your mind and you'll be A-okay. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday. We'll see you next week.
Happy Saturday. We'll see you next week.
It'll just be me next week. Someone's going to get fired today.
It's about time.